Okay, we'll go ahead and get started here. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Coursera for Campus Response Program onboarding webinar, also known as Getting Started with Coursera for Campus. We're incredibly excited to have you join us today, so thank you so much for taking some time, and hopefully we are able to help you get started with your program. My name is Chris. I'm part of our customer marketing team here at Coursera, and I'm joined today by a few members of the Coursera team who will be leading you through the presentation today. Shika, who is with our implementation team, will be leading the demo today and sharing a lot of her expertise and background on our platform. And we also have Aman, who will share some helpful tips to start and set up a successful learning program with Coursera for Campus. And we also have Deepak, who is also with our implementation team, an expert on our platform, and will be helping to answer your questions throughout our session today. So before we officially kick things off, wanted to start by highlighting just a couple of housekeeping items, some important details before we get going. First, this is a common question. We are recording this webinar. So I want to let everybody know in advance. And what that means is that we will have a recording and we will be able to share that. And of course, you can share it with your colleagues at your university. That recording will be shared by email about 1 to 2 days after our webinar. So keep an eye out for that recording in your inbox. Secondly, this is intended to be an interactive session today. We are here. We want to help answer your questions that you have. You will notice one of your tabs in Zoom is a Q&A box. Please click that Q&A box and you can ask questions to our team throughout the session today. We would also love to get to know you, so please go into the chat, introduce yourself, your role, your university. We're excited to meet all of you today and look forward to having a successful webinar. The last piece of housekeeping before we get started is that we will be doing a few poll questions throughout the webinar today. We have 4 poll questions today to be exact, a chance to take a break from the program, engage, share some insights and what we're experiencing with each other. We encourage you to participate. That poll will pop up over your screen in the webinar, couple of clicks to participate, and we will share the results out with everybody afterwards. So jumping into our agenda today, we're going to do a few different topics for you. We're going to kick off by covering an overview of what this response initiative is as part of Coursera for Campus. We're going to do a series of demos to show you the admin and learner experience, how to curate your content, how to leverage collections and make this platform easy to use and successful for you. We know resources are important. We're going to share a variety with you today so that you understand what type of resources you have at your disposal. And then at the end, Aman will take you through an overview of how to ensure program success. And we'll also take a couple minutes just to talk about what some of your options are and how to ask questions if you have them at the end of this trial run. And then at the very, very end, we'll leave about 10 to 15 minutes for your questions live. Again, quick reminder, there is a Q&A box. You can ask questions throughout this webinar in the Q&A box. Any questions we can't get to, we will make sure we leave time for at the end. So we're going to get started before we dive into our content with our first poll question of the day. Just a little warm-up question here. It'll show up right on your screen. And we just love to learn, what are you hoping to learn today? We have a few different options here. We'd love to get your thoughts based on, what gets the most amount of votes in this poll. We might make sure we just teeter our topics today to make sure we're supporting that. And we'll give you another 20 or 30 seconds to answer this question, and then we'll share out the results. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end the poll and share the results here. Looks like making students aware is the #1 topic today, so we will absolutely hit on that, and that will also tie into our success section of our webinar today as well. Also see interest in managing curriculum. That got a lot of votes today, so great to see. We'll touch on that as part of our demo. And then followed by inviting students, messaging learners, and access to reporting analytics. So we will make sure we touch on all of these topics today and look forward to sharing those details with you. All right, so a little bit of an overview on what this Coursera for Campus initiative is. So we launched this initiative on March 12th. And what we're doing as part of this initiative is we're providing any college or university that's been impacted by the coronavirus access to Coursera's course catalog at no charge. Two primary goals, which supports our mission here at Coursera. Our mission is to give everybody access to learning. So as part of this, we want to help universities bring their learning programs online. And of course, we want to make sure students have access to high quality online learning during this time frame. So this initiative, as part of it, you will get access to 3,800 courses and 400 specializations. That is almost all of our entire catalog. You can get up to 5,000 licenses for enrolled students. A couple of really important dates. First is July 31st. All institutions can enroll students up until this July 31st date. That is the date that students can also enroll in courses by. And then students will have until September 30th of 2020 to complete those courses. So there is extra time, even after that enrollment period ends, to complete any courses that are started. Many of our enterprise services and products and features are included, but there are a few that are not, such as single sign-on and private authoring. Those are not included as part of this initiative. A little bit about Coursera for Campus. There's kind of three key things to think about that we are providing as part of this. First is the opportunity for students to learn from renowned professors, leading institutions from around the world, with video lessons, applied projects, interactive quizzes, peer-reviewed assignments, all the great features of the Coursera platform. Second, you'll get access to our tools. We'll share a lot of those today, tools that make it simple and easy to launch your learning program to your students. And then we'll also talk about our resources today. You might have seen that in the agenda. We'll provide a variety of resources to help give you the tools to set up this program, share it with your students and make it successful, from webinars to marketing kits to onboarding guides. We've put together a series of tools to make this as easy as possible for you. Okay, and with that, I will pass it on to Shika, who will walk you through our platform.
Thank you, Chris. Let me share my screen. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining today. My name is Shikha, and I'm an Enterprise Implementation Manager at Coursera. As a part of this session today, I'll talk about our admin platform and how you can use it to manage your curriculum, invite your learners, and some of the best practices. So let's get started. All of you must have received a launch notification email from Coursera, and that email has the link to your admin platform. Once you click on that link, you'll land on a page very similar to this. This is the home page of the admin platform. Instead of Coursera University over here, you'll see your own university's name. And the first thing that you'll see on the page is this dashboard called as Summary Dashboard. So this gives a very quick overview of how your instance is doing in terms of the total number of students who've enrolled in various courses, the total number of learning hours they're spending on taking courses on Coursera, and how many total lessons they have taken on the platform. And you'll also see what average course rating they're giving to Coursera after taking all these courses. So right now we don't have any learners on this platform, and that's why all these dashboard numbers are set to null on 0. But once you start having learners on the platform and they start taking courses, you'll see that some numbers will start appearing here. If I scroll a bit down, the next dashboard that we see is the usage overview dashboard, which gives a very quick overview of how many students did you invite to the platform versus how many actually joined and then started learning on the platform. So the very first column is the invitation sent, which will tell you how many students did you invite on the platform. The next is learners joined, which is how many students actually went ahead and accepted your invite to join in the platform. But it might happen that after joining the platform, there's not start learning right away. So which is our third column, enrolled learners. These are the students who, after joining the platform, enrolled in at least one of the courses and started learning on the platform. Most likely, it looks like a funnel-shaped dashboard because the numbers from invitations to joining to enrolling can keep gradually decreasing. You'll also see the total number of licenses available to you on this instance over here under the remaining licenses tab and how many are left with you to consume. There are also some controls built in within this dashboard, such as invite learners, send reminder to join, and send reminder to enroll. You can quickly click on these controls and send reminder emails to your learners to join the program or to enroll in courses. Okay. So I'll move a bit further, and at the bottom of the home screen, there's a program list section where all your programs will be listed. Here there's Coursera University on Coursera written, but you'll see your university name on this program card. And if I click anywhere on this program card, it will take me to the program admin section of the program. So there are multiple tabs over here on the left side. I'll go through them one by one. Let's start from the bottom. It's the settings tab. So using this tab, you can change a few things. We've already given a default name to your program, but if you want, you can alter the program name and you can change the tagline over here and click on save. There's also the option to upload a banner image for the student's landing page. If you want to customize it to something that your university has or you use on your intranet, you can do that. Just to show you very quickly how all of this looks like on a student landing page, I can click on the preview program button on the top right over here, and it will take me to the student's landing page. So this is how a student's landing page would look like for this program. As you can see, here's the program name and here's the tagline. And this image on the background is the banner image that you can alter using the settings tab. I'll go back to the admin section and move to the next tab, which is the curriculum tab. So this is the section using which you can manage your curriculum, and all of you, a lot of you were interested in this section during the poll part. So let me explain that you've already received a set of curated curriculum as a part of this offering in your curriculum tab. And this has been done by our skills transformation team, which is our in-house content expert. They've chosen a few subjects for you as a part of this curriculum, and they've mapped best of our courses to each of these subjects. So you can see under your curriculum section, you can already see a few major categories such as business, technology, or professional development, and certain number of courses are already included in these categories, which are the best of our courses in these categories. But if you want, you can create your own buckets and add courses to these categories. To do that, all you need to do is click on the plus collection button over here on the right top and give your collection a name. Let's say I name it courses chosen by faculty. And then I can just create this collection. Okay, so once this collection is created, it will start appearing at the bottom of the curriculum tab. Next step would be to add courses in this collection. So for that, I need to click on plus courses button over here and choose the collection to which I need to add the courses. It will take me to this section over here where all of the courses would appear. So there are two options to select a course. Either I can search for a course by typing in a keyword or the particular course name, or another option is that I can select a particular category if I want. So let's say if I select business category, all business related courses would start appearing in this list. And then I can select any course that I want. So let's say I want to select this course, Excel Skills for Business. First, I can click on the course card and I can read the description about this course. So it will tell me what this course is all about, what is the syllabus of this course, week-wise details. Since it's a specialization, it's showing me what all courses are there in this specialization. And if I want, I can just select this course and then add this course by clicking on the Add Courses button over here. So now this course is added in my collection. It will start appearing here in the collection itself. And similarly, I can create more collections if I want. I can add more courses to my collections. If I want to delete a course from my collection, I can just click on a course and delete that collection. And if I want to delete a collection altogether, again, it's fairly simple. I can just click on the delete button here and it will delete the collection that I've created. Just to show you how all these collections look like on a learner homepage, I'll move back to the learner landing page. So as you can see, all these different subjects that I've created in the curriculum tab appear as various categories here on the learner homepage, and the courses that I've added in these subjects will appear under these buckets. So this is how it will look like. Although the student will have the option to search for any course that he wants by going to the search tab or by going to the explore area if they want to look for any particular course. But the homepage will show the courses that you have curated for them. Okay. So after I've created the curriculum for the students, I'll move to the invitations part, using which I'll invite my students to learn on the platform. So there are few ways to do it. Number one is to invite them one by just typing in their name and giving in their email address, and then I can click on send invitation button, and it would invite that student to learn on the platform. The next option, which I'm assuming would be more convenient for you, will be to import learners. Since most likely you'll have a long list of learners to invite to your platform, you can just create one single file of these learners and then import them on the platform, and they'll be invited in one go. To do that, you need to click on Import Learners button. Click on this Download the CSV template. Just to show you, this is how the template will look like. It will have 3 columns: full name, email, and external ID. You need to populate this template with your student details, just given their full names, given their email ID. And external ID column is optional. If you want, you can put in your student's admission number or enrollment number here, or if you want, you can also leave it empty. Just make sure that you are not changing any of these column names or deleting them. After you're done, save this file, go back to the platform, upload this file, and all of your students will be sent invitation in just one go after you do that. So that's a more convenient option than inviting them one-on-one. Just to show you how an invitation email looks like. So this is the kind of invitation email that your students will receive once you invite them to the platform. It will say that your university has invited you to start learning on Coursera, and they'll have a Join Now button. Before I show you how a student joins the program, let me go back to the invitation part. There's one more option that we've recently included using which you can invite your students, and that is the email domain whitelist option. So if your university has any email domain which is used by all of the faculty members and all of your students across, you can simply whitelist that domain, and then everybody who has that email domain will be able to directly join the program without having sent an explicit invitation. So to do that, you just need to click on Edit Whitelist option, click on this plus tab over here, and add the domain. Let's say I add iam.edu.in. So basically it means that all of my faculty and student members will have an email domain which will end with @iam.edu.in. Click on continue, and the email domain will be added. Once that is done, you can just copy the program URL from here and just share it with your students, maybe using your intranet or using your email communication. And then you don't need to invite students one by one. They can directly click on this link and join the program. You can add multiple domains to be whitelisted. Just keep on clicking on this plus tab over here. And if your university supports multiple email domains, you can just click add them, and all of those email domains will be whitelisted. So that's a great way if you just want to, send the invitations across university and make sure the maximum usage happens on the platform. I'll move back to this invitation email just to show you how a student can join the program. So from the invitation email, they'll have to click on this button, join now. But if they're joining using the email whitelist option, they'll just need to click on the link that you'll provide them. After they click on it, they'll land on this page and they'll get the option to join the program. If the student already has an email ID on Coursera, they'll directly be logged into the program. But if they don't have it, they'll be prompted to create a Coursera account first. And this is how it will look like for them. There'll be two tabs, My Courses and Catalog. Under Catalog, then they can see all of the curriculum that you've set up for them. They can click on any course that they want, read up about the course information, that what is this course all about, what is the approximate amount of time required to complete it, week-wise syllabus, who are the instructors, what are the top reviews. And if they choose to enroll in this course, they can just click on enroll for free button. And that's it. They can just enroll in that course directly and then start taking that course by going on go to course. So this is how a course module will look like for a student. They'll have week-wise modules. Each week will have video lectures, reading material, practice exercises. They can also access their grades in here, where they'll see the grades of all of the assignments that they'll submit across various weeks. And few other resources which students can access to discuss the course content and take help from. Okay, so I'll move back to the admin portal. After the invitations part, next up is the members tab. So after a student accepts an invitation, he'll become a member of your platform and he'll start showing up under the members tab. So all of the people who are the member of the platform will start showing up under this tab, as you can see. You can also click on any of these rows and see the details about the students. So let's say I click on this name so I can see what course are they registered in. Okay. Yeah. So if I click on this person's name, I can see what course are they registered in, how much of progress have they made in that course, and when were they last active in this course. And last is the main tab, which is very specific to a program. So main tab basically show you these three donut charts for a program, which shows how many members do you have in this program in total, how many of them have enrolled in at least one of the courses, and how many of them have completed at least one of the courses. So this is all about the program administration section. I'll move back to the home tab. And next I'll show you the email report option. So we have quite a few options on the platform to give you reports and analytics. First up is the email report that I'm going to show you. If you want to get email reports, just click on this option on the home tab, and it will show you these few options. Most likely you would want to select include data from only active contacts, and then click on send now. And then a report will be sent to your inbox within 5 to 7 minutes. So the report which you'll receive will have few attachments, and using those attachments, you can download few CSV reports. So I have sample reports for you to show you how these reports look like. These attachments will have three reports: membership report, usage report, and specialization report. I'm going to show you these reports one by one. So this is how a sample membership report will look like. It will have the details of all of your learners, their email IDs, what programs have they become a member of, and how many courses have they enrolled in, and how many courses have they completed. It will also show you what is their current member state. So it can be either a member, which means they're a member of your program. It can be invited, which means they've been invited to the program, but they've not joined yet. And next is deleted member, which is they've either deleted their account or you have deleted them from the program. So this is what a membership report looks like. It gives you some data points on a very high level. But if you're looking for more details, in-depth details, then you have to move to the usage report, which will also be a part of the same email that you'll receive. So this is how a usage report will look like. As you can see, it will have the details of all the courses that a learner is doing currently. So you can see that a learner one is enrolled in 5 or 6 courses. You'll see all of those 5, 6 courses here under the courses column. You'll see what university has created those courses. When did the student enroll in the course? When did he start taking the course? When was he last active? What is the overall progress percentage for him in that course? Then has he completed the course or not? And if he has, what is the overall course grade he has received in that course? So this is a more detailed report that you can access to know how your students are doing in each of the course that they've enrolled in. And the third report that you receive as a part of email report is specialization report, which will be very specific to the specializations that your students are enrolling in. Okay, so after the report option, now I'll just move to the users tab. Okay, so users tab has 2 sections, learners and administrators. Under the learners section, you can see the list of all of your learners that are a part of your platform across all of the programs. So here are a few filter options given to you. You can select a particular list of learners basis these filter options. So let's say you want to see the list of people who you invited, but they never joined a program. So you can click on this button. You can similarly select various options. Let's say you want to select the list of people who have completed a course in last 30 days. So you can also select it from here. For now, I'll select the list of people who were invited, but they never joined a program. And then this list will appear. I can also choose some additional filters if I want. Let's say if I want to select the list only for a specific program or a contract, I can also do that using these additional filters. Once the list shows up, I can select these students by clicking on the checkbox one by one, or I can select the whole list by clicking on the stop checkbox here. And certain controls would start appearing. Such as remove invitations. So I can remove these people from the platform if I want by clicking on this button. Next up is download as CSV. Let's say if I want their data in a CSV format from here, I can directly click on download as CSV. And another is send message. So I want to show you how this works. I'll click on the send message control and it would take me to a create a message screen. So basically, the platform gives you the ability to send message to your learners and your invited members right from the platform itself. Using this option, you can create a custom message and then send it across. So here the message audience is already selected, all people who were invited but did not join a learning program. Next is message details. Here I can customize the message if I want. I can change some of the text. I can include a call to action button. I can write my own sender's name. So if you're sending it, you can include your university's name or your university's HOD name or whatever suits you the best. You can also include a reply to email address if you want. So this email address will be the one where students can get back to you. After you're done, just preview this message and accept the terms and conditions and simply send it. And this message will be sent to all of your learners. So this is a great feature using which you can directly engage with your learners directly from the platform. You can use it to remind learners to join a course, or you can use it to congratulate your learners in case they've recently completed a course. So there are various use cases. I'll go back to the users tab. You can also invite your learners from this section if you want. It's very similar to how I showed you the invitation process in the program section. It's in fact very similar. You can invite them one by one, or you can invite them in one go using the CSV upload option. Okay, after the learners tab, next is the administrators tab. So here, all of your platform administrators details are there. There are two sections. The top section is for the org administrator, while the bottom section is for the program administrator, or you can also call them sub administrators. So if you, by default, the org administrator would be the person who had applied for this program, but that person will have the option to add additional org administrator to the platform. You can just type in the email address there and click on add administrator. The only prerequisite is that this person should have an active Coursera account using this email address. If they don't have it, the platform will prompt an error and that person will have to create a Coursera account first. The bottom section is to add program administrators. So basically, the instance give you the ability to add different program administrators to each of your program to each of your programs in case your platform has multiple programs. So to do that, you need to click on add administrator option, enter in the email address, select the particular program for which you want to add the program administrator, and then just click on save button. So recently we have launched this feature where even the program administrators will be able to access the users and the messages tab. Earlier we didn't have this. Earlier program administrators only had the access to the specific program sections. But now if you're a program administrator, you'll also be able to access the users tab, and you'll be able to send them messages if you want using the messages tab. Okay. The last section on the platform that I want to talk about is the analytics section. So under the analytics section, you can find various dashboards which will give you a lot of data points in terms of how your learners are doing on the platform, and how they're faring against various data points. So there are a lot of dashboards and you can explore them on your own. But for this session, I want to touch base upon few important dashboards, which are the skills development dashboards. So the number one dashboard that I want to talk about is the distribution dashboard. This is how it looks like. It basically gives you an overview of what kind of skills do your students have. So on the vertical section, you can see 18 skill domains listed. And on the horizontal, we have the number of students tagged to each of these skills domains. So for management skill domain, I can see that there are 310 students who are at the beginner level for this skill. I have around 60 at the intermediate level, and then I have 2 students at the advanced level. Similarly, I can see the numbers for each of these skill levels, and I can see what kind of skills as well as what kind of skill proficiency do my students have. Next up is the mastery dashboard under the skills development section. So this particular skills mastery over time shows you how your students are developing skills over a period of time. So for example, if I see for statistics, in 2017, I only had 14 students who were skilled in statistics skill at the intermediate or advanced level. But over the period of time, after taking multiple courses on the platform, now I have 43 students who are at this level for this particular skill. So this shows you how your students are developing their skills over a period of time on the platform by consuming the content on the platform. At the bottom, you will have skill mastery leaderboard, which will show you who are your top learners under each skill domain and each skill in terms of their performances. So this is it in terms of the platform demo. I'll just go back to the presentation. The next thing that I want to talk about are guided projects. So basically, these are the hands-on projects that you can do on the platform. These are a new form of Coursera content apart from the courses. Last year, Coursera acquired a company called Rhyme that is an online platform for both taking and creating hands-on projects. And now these projects are available to you as well as a part of our C4CV offering. So projects, as I told you, are a course type that offer learners short-form hands-on learning. Learners will use a pre-configured cloud desktop, which is accessible from their web browser. So they don't have to download any external software to learn a new software. And they can complete instructor-led tasks and receive virtual feedback at the same time. So if you want to add these guided projects to your students' curriculum, just need to go to the curriculum section, and while you're adding courses, just search for the keyword rhyme in the add courses section, and certain courses will appear. And you can simply select these courses and add them to the curriculum, and then students will be able to take these courses. So various tools that your students can expect to learn using these guided projects are listed here. Mostly technical kind of projects are available under guided project section, and the skills and techniques that they can expect to learn involve regression, sentiment analysis, mostly around ML and data analysis. Okay. So as administrators, you will have access to our enterprise help centers. Just to show you how they look like. I'm sorry. Yeah. So just to show you how our administrator help center look like, this is how they look like. To go there, all you need to do is just click on this drop down towards the rightmost area and click on Organization Help Center, and it'll take you to our Enterprise Help Center. So this is how it looks like. You can find various articles over here related to our multiple features. All of our new features that get launched will also be available here, and the details of how you can use them. In case you're stuck somewhere, you can come here and access one of these articles on how can you troubleshoot that problem, how to use that feature. You'll also see the latest product updates and launches under this section, and you can also find the link to the latest webinars that we are doing under this section. Okay. And next and last section is the admin and learner guide. So as a part of your launch notification email, all of you must have also received admin and learner guides. And these are great resources to help you understand various features. And for your learners, it will be a great resource to tell them how can they access Coursera. This is how a learner guide looks like. It's very detailed in terms of how all the features are placed on the platform, how can you use them. So in case you want to add more administrators and onboard them, you can share this guide with them and they can understand our new features. And the learner guides, you can share them with your students directly so that they can understand how can they log into the platform and access the courses. So this is it from my end. Over to you, Chris.
Great, thank you, Shika. I'll reshare my screen here. Okay, so now we're going to share a couple of other resources with you, but before we dive in, I thought we'd take a quick pause and launch our next poll question, which if you bear with me, I will do that in just a second here. Okay, everybody should see that poll question number 2 on your screen. What types of activities are you doing to keep your students engaged in learning at this time? So we're going to share some resources coming up talking about some of these types of activities, but would love to hear what you're doing. And we'll share that with everybody in just a couple seconds. Okay, we'll give it just about 5 more seconds here and then we'll share the results. Okay. All right, so this is interesting to see. So webinars or virtual events are the most popular right now. Very similar for us. We're seeing a lot of success with webinars, as are our customers. So great to see that. And it looks like a lot of folks are using their web and mobile apps to message their students, followed by email. So very fantastic to see. We're going to talk in just a second about our student awareness kit that includes tips on a few of these different activities. But first, we're going to talk about our fairly newly launched Community Campus Forum, our Coursera for Campus Community Forum. We launched this very recently in response to this initiative to create a digital hub where university faculties and administrators from all over the globe can get together to share best practices, resources, and connect with each other across the entire academic community. In this, you'll have a chance not only to engage with each other, answer each other's questions, get answers to your questions from your global peers, but you'll also find information from Coursera, such as blogs, announcements, and case studies. So to find this Coursera for Campus community, there is a website on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You can also just visit coursera.community. At the top of that page, there is a rectangular on-site banner, very easy to spot and find, that says Coursera for Campus Community Forum. Click on that, it'll take you to this page. One important detail to call out is that this page and this forum does require its own unique separate login that is different from your Coursera account. So you will need a separate and unique login. That is a normal experience in order to participate, but we certainly hope that you do. We've seen really, really great engagement with this community forum since we launched just a little over a month ago. It's still early. We'd love to have you join and be one of the founding members of this community and help push that conversation forward. So now we're going to take a couple minutes and just talk about our student awareness kit. So we built this student awareness kit in response to our university customers that were looking for some resources and guidance from Coursera for how to message and market Coursera to their students. So this kit includes a variety of activities and elements that can help you share Coursera with your students. The first and foremost item included is a guide. There is no icon for the guide in this slide, but there is a guide that comes with this. We'll show you a couple of examples in just a second, but that guide shows you an overview of what's included, provides some tips and tricks and insights for how to use this in your university. It also includes 5 easy-to-use email templates, some collateral that you can use. Works, it's called out as print in the slide, but it works very well digitally. A couple of short slide decks, both facing students as well as faculty, to share Coursera with all your constituents, and then some suggested social media posts that you can use to share Coursera on your social channels. So this is a sample from the guide. This is email number 1 in our 5 email flow, and it's considered an introductory email. So what we give you is this, in this guide, you'll see that it has some background on what it is, who to send it to, when to send, and how to use it. And then we also provide out of the box, ready to go copy with a out of the box, ready to go header email graphic that can be associated with that particular email. This email, while ready out of the box, can easily be customized to your university as well. We've often found that one sentence swap that just talks to your personal learning mission, or the name of your university and what you're trying to achieve, can make this feel very personal and relevant to students, and really, really have a more meaningful impact in terms of results. We also have some of this collateral we talked about. You can easily swap in your logo to make it feel co-branded with Coursera for Campus. You'll see in the top left corner, there's a your logo here. Swap in your university logo and it is a co-branded asset. This just helps students understand the value of learning on Coursera and how it can help them on their career journey. We have some tips for how to use it in the guide as well, but we would certainly recommend that you include this in emails or in your webinars. There's different places where these creative assets can be very valuable. We have 2 sets of slides. The example here today is our student-facing slides. It's a short slide deck, 6 slides. Again, can be used in presentations, virtual events, webinars, to help students understand what Coursera is and some of the benefits of learning on Coursera, and of course, the impact that can have on their career, particularly important at this time when online learning is a big transition that a lot of universities are making. Very similar slides for faculty that we also have here as well. Same concept, but it's to share this with your faculty, your colleagues across your university at the faculty and administrator level, and helping them understand the value of Coursera and how it can help their students. And then just the last piece here in this student awareness kit before we move on to the next section. Actually, sorry, there's one more slide after this. It's just our social media social media messages. We have copy, we have images across a variety of social channels that you can leverage and use. You can mix and match as you see fit. If you want to use our images with your copy or our copy with your images, there's a lot of flexibility here, and we encourage you to be creative with it, but we have provided some guidance along the way. And then lastly, within this guide itself, we just provide some tips and tricks for how you can use it at different points. Many of our assets can be reused or edited very simply to be used at different phases. And we want to make sure that you think about getting off to a great start. First 30 days are the most critical, but then from there, how can you think about making sure you continue to drive on this post-launch and creating awareness with your students. So we're gonna take a quick pause before the next section, our third poll question of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and launch this. And we'd love to hear, we've shared between Shika and myself, we've shared a variety of support resources with you. Love to hear which ones you think will be most helpful. It's also great insights into helping us understand where to invest our resources down the road. Okay, a lot of votes coming through. Very exciting to see. We'll give it just 5 more seconds here. Okay, gonna go ahead and share the results. Very similar to the activity slide, live and recorded webinars are showing to be very popular and impactful. We've got a fantastic audience tonight. We'll be doing more webinars on an ongoing basis, so keep an eye out for invites. We actually have a second step in this series that we're calling our success webinars that will take the slides that Aman is going to share in just a second to the next level. So we encourage you to look out for that. Also great to see that the Student Awareness Kit, the community forum, and our various guides and help center are also helpful as well. So thank you for sharing. Okay. Now I'm going to pass it on to Aman, who will walk you through some steps to be successful in your program.
Thank you, Chris. Hi, everyone. My name is Amandeep, and I'm part of the customer success team at Coursera. And you've already learned from my colleagues, how to manage the admin side, plus some helpful resources. I know a lot of you shared interest in this part of the section, which is ensuring success of your program. So hopefully you'll learn some good insight and tips on how to run a successful program on Coursera. And it all starts with integrating Coursera into your curriculum. That's the first step. And typically with our experience of running this program across universities across the world, we've seen 3 use cases where universities and colleges implement Coursera into their curriculum, which is standalone, blended learning, and multidisciplinary learning. I'll dig a little deeper into each of these use cases. So the first is standalone. As the name suggests, you can use a single course and map it to your curriculum. To help you with an example, let's say you're a business school and your first year students need to take a course on business analytics. You could take a standalone Coursera course and map it into your curriculum. Alternately, if you're an engineering college and you want to teach Python basics to your first year computer science students, again, you could use a Coursera course, map it to that particular on-campus course and use it for your benefit. The second is blended learning, running with the same example of Python for your first year computer science students. So you could have your faculty take an in-depth classroom course on introduction to Python, but then your faculty could use Coursera quizzes and assignments to use this in form of a blended learning. and use the best of both worlds. And typically what we've seen is standalone and blended learning are used as a 4-credit piece within colleges and universities. So just keep that in mind. The third is a multidisciplinary learning, which is used primarily as a non-credit piece. And this is useful when your students want to improve their career readiness. So when they step out into the corporate world, there are multiple skills that they need to be ready with. For example, making effective presentations, communicating effectively, even something as simple as writing business emails. All of these courses they can take on Coursera and improve their career readiness when they step out into the corporate world. Now that we've got that covered, 5 easy steps to running a successful program on Coursera. So the first is learning goals. We spoke about it in the previous slide, the 3 use cases. Once you've identified what's your use case for using Coursera at your university, please be very, very clear and communicate the same goals and expectations to students. For example, if you're running Coursera for a multidisciplinary approach, please ensure that you communicate the same to your students as well. The second step is effective content curation. And while our expert content team has already created some collections for you, we highly recommend faculty to go and curate content basis your curriculum. And because this is so important, I'll spend some time more in the next slide talking about how you can do all of this. But for now, just remember, while you can sort of use Coursera content out of the box, it's very helpful to curate content and map it to your curriculum. The third is simple learner navigation, and Coursera as a platform is set up so that it provides easy access. Learners can easily sign up, but we should also be cognizant of the fact that a lot of your students are going to be coming and learning online for the first time. So make use of the resources that my colleague shared earlier. You have access to them. Share out those learner guides with them. You'll also get a lot of questions early on how to enroll, how to complete a course. Please be patient and guide your students. The fourth stage is sending enough invitations. And what we've seen across while working with other campuses and universities is that you need to have a minimum number of invitations sent out, which is typically 1x to 1.5x the number of licenses that you have. So if your college or university has 5,000 licenses, our recommendation is to send about 5,000 to 7,000 invitations to students to ensure good utilization. And finally, you'll get these bunch of early completers and early faculties and students who are completing Coursera courses. So make sure to go and celebrate those small milestones. Even if they don't send across their certificates to you, you can make use of the email reports, get a list of all the students who've completed Coursera courses in the last 30 days, and ensure that you create a high visibility marketing campaign around that. What you'll see is that this leads to higher utilization. A lot of other students will get motivated and will start completing courses as well. And because I was talking about why content is so important, this is our approach to skills planning for a campus or university. So as faculty, you could curate content basis core skills such as business, engineering, technology. If you're an engineering school, you could curate content basis the different streams: mechanical, civil, electrical. You could also curate content basis the future skills that are in demand. So skills like big data, machine learning, AI, and blockchain. And finally, the third is job ready skills. So for example, when students step out in the corporate world, some of the most in demand jobs are digital marketing, data scientists. So there are courses that cater to these roles as well. And you could easily curate your content to tailor it to these courses. We also understand, though, that it might be difficult for faculties to map courses. So what we've done is we've recently launched Course Map, which is our machine learning solution, which automatically matches a university's on-campus course to a Coursera course. And as an example, here is a CSC curriculum, which is an AICT curriculum for computer science engineers. Each semester wise, there are some on-campus courses which are then mapped to Coursera courses along with a relevance score. We've already done this across 1,800 plus schools And if you want to get your university curriculum mapped, please feel free to visit coursera.org/campus-course match, or you could also send us your curriculum in a CSV format to coursematch@coursera.org. And now that you've done all of that, what does the outcome of a successful program look like? So a successful program will be characterized by high utilization. And we've typically seen that you should aim to utilize 70% of the licenses within the first 30 days. If that's happening, that means you're on track for a successful program. The other indication is strong learner engagement. So learners have an option to rate Coursera courses once they complete them, and typically ratings of 4.3 and above on a scale of 5 point to strong learner engagement, which means that you are running a successful program on Coursera. And finally, you'll see key faculty and students who are ambassadors for the program, who are typically the early adopters. Use them for faster adoption and as mentors for digital learning on the campus. Remember, a lot of students are coming and learning online for the first time, so it's very, very critical for you to utilize these students and faculties as ambassadors. Finally, we've also got a lot of questions on how to plan for the next academic year and how can Coursera help universities in that regard. So this is our vision on how we can support you in the immediate term as well as in the long term. So for the period of April to July, you can utilize these free licenses via the Coursera Coronavirus Campus Response. Some important dates to remember though: your students can enroll in courses all the way till 31st of July, and then they will have time till 30th of September to complete those courses. But obviously, this is a self-service model with slightly limited features. If you're interested, we can support you in the long term with a full service model, which you can utilize from August onwards. And this includes all, not just our content, but all our other product features and services, such as single sign-on, private authoring, customer success, all of that. And if you're interested or your campus is interested, you can easily reach out to us through campus response at coursera.org, and somebody in the team will be in touch with you. And finally, to our last poll question, Chris, over to you.
All right. Thanks, Aman. Our final poll question of the day, and then we'll open it up for a couple of questions. We got a little tight on time, but I'm going to go ahead and launch that. We'd just love to hear from you and each other. What are your plans for delivering learning to your students post-COVID-19? Give it another 10 seconds here to answer, and then we'll share out the results. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share the results here. Everybody should see those on your screen. So looks like it is very, very trending towards a blend of online and on-campus learning. Very, very interesting to see. And it looks like some of you will try and move back to full-time on-campus learning, as well as some of you are considering full-time online learning. So thank you for sharing. And as a reminder, just looping back on the last slide that Aman shared, if you would like to explore more for your campus, you can reach out to Campus Response at Coursera.org today. And our team will be glad to help you with any questions that you have and assistance as you make this transition. We are at time, but I do want to make sure we, for those who can hang around, address a few questions. I see that we have a few that are open that we have committed to answering live, so we'll take just a couple minutes and answer some of those and try and address any final questions that you may have. So I see a couple questions here that Deepak has volunteered to answer live. A lot of them have to do with how to set up things in the admin portal. So can someone share again how to upload a CSV file and share a template of that CSV file?
Yeah, Chris, I can take that. Do you want me to share the screen again? Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I'll just go back to the home section. So you have to go to the program section over here, go to the invitations tab, and then under the invitations area, you will see the option of import learners. Just click here and click on the download CSV template, and you can then download the template to populate the details of the students. So this is how a template will look like: 3 columns, full name, email, and external ID. External ID is optional, but these two are mandatory. So just populate this with your student details and upload it back on the portal, and then you're done. Any other question, Chris?
I'm sorry about that. I was speaking over mute. Another question is around in the admin portal, there is no section to add other admins, and also the analytics section is not available. Can you speak to that?
All right. So for program administrators, the option to add another administrator is not available. This option is only available for the org level administrators. Similarly, the analytics section will not be available if you are a program administrators. We've recently launched the ability that, program administrators will now be able to see the users and messages tab, but analytics and additional administrator section is not available for program administrators.
Thank you. And I have one other question here. Can you also speak to how someone would add additional administrators to their program?
So you can do it from the users tab. Under users tab, we have the administrator section. If you want to add an org level administrator, only an org administrator can access this section first of all. You can just give in the email address here and add this person. And if you want to add program administrators, you can add it from this section. Just click on the button, enter the email address, select the program, and you're done.
Okay, and we'll do 2 more questions here. One of them is someone has a university in the Philippines that starts first semester classes in August 1st, 2020. Will free access to Coursera courses be extended beyond July 31st?
I think Aman covered this in his presentation. If you want to talk about the details on how can you plan for your upcoming semesters, please reach out to us on the email ID shared in the presentation. Chris, do you want to add something there?
I think that is the right answer. Unfortunately, we're not able at this point in time to extend beyond July 31st, but we are absolutely happy to consult and help in any way we can. And that email address is campusresponse@coursera.org. And then the last question I will just answer before we wrap up, because I know we're at time, is will the recording be shared after this webinar? Absolutely. So we will be sharing out by email to anybody who registered for this webinar very shortly afterwards, no more than 1 to 2 days, a link to the recording that you can share with any of your colleagues. We will share all links to all the help resources that we have shared with you today, as well as some other guidance on how to seek additional help. So we are looking forward to sending and sharing that out. Keep an eye out for it in your inbox. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Wanted to thank all of our presenters and participants today. Thank you so much for joining. We hope it was helpful. Again, if anybody has any questions, you can indeed reach out to us at campusresponse@coursera.org, where we're happy to talk about that transition beyond July 31st. Or of course, you can reach out to our support team if you need any technical help. And again, we look forward to working with you. Thank you for participating today.